Minecraft Beta is a version of the game that came out over 12 years ago. And even with this in mind, there are still thousands of people who play this version of Minecraft. And I'm starting to realize that Minecraft Beta might become more popular than the current version of the game. I've seen countless videos released on YouTube about people praising the older versions of Minecraft and also saying how the current version of the game could be at its last straw. And today, I want to talk about why I truly believe that Minecraft Beta could surpass the current version of the game as the most popular version. So I have split this video up into 4 different parts, and each part represents a different reason as to why I think the beta version of Minecraft may surpass the current version. The first one is the idea of challenge. The second one is reward. The third one is creativity. And finally, I want to talk about nostalgia. So, without further ado, let's talk about why beta Minecraft is becoming more popular than the current version. Now, if you're someone like me, you typically play games as a way to de-stress and unwind after a busy day. But when you're playing the game, you also want some sort of challenge so that the game doesn't feel too easy. And I think that the current version of Minecraft has become way too easy. There is no challenge in the current version of the game. And I think that's why hardcore mode has exploded so much over the past couple of years. It's because people are trying to grasp that idea of challenge in a game, something that Minecraft no longer has. Like, once you get one piece of iron in the game, you're basically unkillable. You can just make a shield and take no damage. And don't even get me started on the end game. End game, you have netherite and enchantments and totems of undying that literally make it so you cannot die. There is no challenge in the current version of Minecraft, but there is in the beta version. One of the key differences between the beta version of Minecraft and the current version is that you cannot sprint. In the beta version, you can't run. You can only walk. And most of the mobs are the same speed, if not faster than you, which really adds the sense of stress and fear because if there's a zombie chasing you, you can't get away. You're gonna have to either get inside your house or keep running because the night is actually hard in the beta version of the game. You can't skip the night. Unless you are able to find 3 sheep, which is really uncommon in your first night. You are forced to play out that first night of Minecraft, which is something I'll talk about later in the nostalgia section. And along with mobs being faster than you, they also deal more damage, and there's no hunger bar. So instead of having automatic regeneration, in the older version, you eat food to regenerate your health. And food doesn't stack, so you can't carry that much food, which really makes the game more challenging because you need to decide how much food you need to take to make sure you don't die because there's no structures in the game. there's nothing to help you out. There's If you play beta 1.7.3, you get a dungeon. That's the only structure. So maybe you can find some bread, but other than that, the food you bring down to the mine is what you're stuck with. And that, along with everything else, is why the beta version of the game has more challenge. And that's why people enjoy it more. People want that challenge while also having a simple game that they can play. And it's this challenge that gives you a sense of reward, which is the next topic that I want to talk about. The main problem that I have with the current version of Minecraft is that there's a select path you follow. Sure, it's still a sandbox game, but at the end of the day, once you get past building your first base, the game is pretty much a select path. You go mine for diamonds, you build a nether portal, you go to the nether, you get ender pearls and blaze rods, you go to the end, you fight the ender dragon, get the elytra, you go fight a raid, you get totems, you beat the wither, you have everything. You build farms, and then that's it. That's the game. That's why people have a 2 week period of Minecraft. It's because it takes 2 weeks to basically beat the game in its current state. But in beta, there's no select path. As I stated before, the only structure is a dungeon, so there's no path for you to take. The game is what you make of it, and that's why it's so rewarding. Along with the idea that there's no select path, the game is also more rewarding because of the challenge, as I mentioned before, and the fact that getting gear and building actually takes time. In the new versions of the game, you can get full netherite in, 2 hours? If you trade with villagers and get enchants. But in the beta version, there's no enchanting, there's no mending, there's no anything. It's just you in this world. So getting diamonds and getting gear and building takes time. You There's no easy route. If you want to build a structure, you have to go get those resources. If you want to go and mine for diamonds, you have to. There's no fortune. If you want a full set of diamond armor, you have to go get 24 diamonds. And that's why the game is so much more rewarding in the older versions. It takes time, and there's no select path. So anything you build feels rewarding because you had the option to build it and you wanted to. In the current version, if I try and build a mega base, I beat the game before I start that because it's just so much easier. But in the old versions, you do whatever you want. It is a true sandbox, and that is why it is so rewarding. And with building, you also get creativity, which is the next topic that I want to talk about. The third reason why I think people play beta Minecraft more than the current version is because of the idea of creativity. And with this, I want to talk about beta's terrain. In the current version of Minecraft, luckily Caves and Cliffs has fixed this, but it seems too natural. You have steady inclines and hills and caves, but in the beta version of the game, it feels almost like a fantasy. There are these massive, giant cliffs with underpasses, and it just really lends itself to you being more creative. The space is there, and you have to fill it. What you fill it with is up to you. Another key reason why I think beta is more creative than the current version is because of the limited block palette. There's this philosophy where people tend to be more creative with the less that they have. And it's true. In beta Minecraft, the block palette is so limited that it forces you to think outside the box and to imagine what a build is going to look like. In the current version, there's no creativity. Anything that you want is right there. So if you want to build with, let's say, a flower pot, you can. Just grab a flower pot. But in the older versions, you couldn't make a flower pot. Actually, I think in beta 1.7.3 you could. But let's talk about alpha for a second. For alpha Minecraft, there were no flower pots. So instead of putting a flower in a pot, you would go next to your window and build a little garden outside of your window because it's all you could do. And it forced you to be creative. Minecraft beta has this open world, and as stated before, you need to fill the space. Structures in the current version take away from that. You don't need to fill that space, there's a village right there. But in beta, you build a village and you put it there. And that's why it's so much more creative. And finally, I want to talk about the idea of nostalgia. A lot of people are nostalgic for the beta version of Minecraft. It's the version they grew up with. A lot of people started playing in beta or in any other older version. So why is nostalgia so important to us? Because the idea of Minecraft's simplicity back then and its creativity, it unlocks memories in our brain that we have that we want to relive. We remember the beta version of the game as a time of simplicity in our lives, which for most it was. When I first started playing Minecraft, I didn't even play the beta because I was too young. I started playing Minecraft when I was 7, and that was release 1.2, I think. So the beta version just brings you back to a simpler time, and the game itself is simpler. You don't have to think about enchanting or trading with villagers. It's just you in an open world to do whatever you want. It is a true sandbox and a true nostalgic experience. And that is why I think the beta version of Minecraft is becoming more popular than the current version. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. If it seemed like I was rambling, it's because I was. I didn't make a script for this video. I just had the 4 key points labeled because I think that tends to bring better content. It obviously depends on what you're creating, but I think improv just works better for me. So if there's something that I didn't talk about that you think I should, leave it in the comment section. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. But with that being said, that's going to do it for me, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.